All right,
Yeah,
everybody. Yeah. Let's do this. We got a damn podcast here to do. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be the biggest podcast we've done this week. So get ready, folks. All sorts of the hype. As always, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is the CBC podcast. We're gonna talk about all sorts of stuff that I did not bring up in this note. There it is. Doctor Strange, Guardians, Moon Knight, Fantastic Four, and a bunch of Q&A in between there. And of course, as always, and every week here until eternity, it's me, your host, Armin, and I am joined by Mitch.
What's up? You can follow me on Twitter at 692tweets.
Were you mid-sip? Did I get you mid-sip?
No.
Oh, like
was I delayed or something there?
It sounded like it slightly, yeah.
That's weird.
Hey, maybe, I mean, look, maybe you were, maybe you weren't. We'll never know because it's not a video. But
I can tell you right now, I was not.
Okay, is Tristan mid-sip though? Is he?
I don't know, but what I do know is that I don't get invited to spoiler casts, but you can catch me.
Oh damn! You called him out. He's gonna start a war. With that podcast beef going on.
I mean, that there Nerd Academy. Something tells me that Jared there, he's probably one of those conspiracy theorists or something. I don't know. I can't confirm it now.
Yeah.
I've seen him use Alex Jones memes frequently, and a great sound clip and a video.
I mean, if you go watch the
which
podcast
one is it? Is that one where he just screams for 15 seconds?
Yes.
So, what we're talking about, of course, if you guys would like a huge spoiler cast, including multiple different people, you guys can go find that. I will have it linked down below, and it will be one of those pop-up things that just pops up on YouTube. And I'll try to post it to our wall as well, so you guys can just go see that. It's much bigger than the spoilers we're going to talk about here, because it was just about that for 2 hours total runtime, I think, and I was there for an hour. So,
something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty lengthy. A good time, that's for certain. Maybe next time Tristan can get on there. Jared, we see you. See what you're trying to do. Just call him out for, I don't know, favorite. I guess Nick is his favorite technically, right? Can we say that?
Yeah. Nick is his favorite. Yeah.
That's.
I don't know how, but Nick's somehow his favorite.
Somehow Nick's become my favorite.
I think it might be a pity favorite. I'm not sure.
Maybe it is. He's like, oh, that poor soul and his Daredevil and Titans like, oh. That is how it goes, though. But hey, with that in mind, we got a pretty stacked show for you guys, so we're gonna get to that. I think it's all good. Tristan, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Crawling out of bed.
Drink the G Fuel, Tristan. Drink it.
Inject it straight into your veins.
Just snort it.
That's the power of
what you should do, right, is you film yourself snorting G Fuel and then the results afterwards and then sell it as an NFT.
I was going to try to walk a segue into that as well.
I mean, I would, but the NFT market is plunging down into the gutter, so.
And apparently Ezra's cornered the stupid NFT market, so we can't really beat it.
I didn't get that though. I was trying to put two and two together. I didn't understand.
They're assaulting people to make an NFT. There's not much to understand. You don't have to understand. It's just wild.
Excuse me, how stupid are you? Yes. Okay. Fair. That's
just smile and nod, Tristan. It's fine.
Just do like the little queen wave, like your normal and
the half-ass, just like poor people. I gotta see the poor, but damn,
look at them. They look so smelly and human.
Their taxes pay for my rent.
What a wild ride it's been this week, man. The news everywhere, and now all this. I'm just like, yes.
The worst bit is I'm not even surprised about the NFT stuff with Ezra Miller.
No, of course not.
Actually makes it make more sense.
It does.
So, everyone being like, oh, they need help. It's like, are they actually doing it because they need help? Well, to be fair, I think they need help.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Is it that kind of help?
I'm just waiting for Army Hammer to come out next to be like, bro, the whole flesh-eating thing was an NFT scheme. Come on.
Oh.
See, I was gonna auction it off to Burger King. Human meat. Guys.
Burger King.
I need to get to the level of has enough money that reality doesn't make sense in my brain, and then I'll know I'll truly have hit peak celebritydom. Like, what can I do today? How stupid can I be and possibly spin it into monetary gain?
I mean, Elon Musk didn't have anything when he started, so
that's
fine.
true. And he was in Iron Man 2. Therefore, he only went upwards. So
it's got to fake it till you make it. Or have a really rich daddy with like a blood diamond mine.
Oh, yeah.
There's two ways.
Fake it till you make it. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to get on that OnlyFans finally. It's going to happen. Gonna do it.
Katie Cassidy's calling herself the queen of NFTs. Well, Katie Cassidy's about to like have a very short reign.
Cassidy. Is that the Titans girl, I think?
I don't know.
I don't know. Queen
But
of
Benny with the 2 years, like, goddamn.
Oh,
24 months.
what
That's
a champ.
wild.
Man, what
It's wild until John comes in here swinging with like his big month dick.
Y'all ready? Oh.
Oh, I didn't know this. What is it? Bethesda announced that they're delaying Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023.
Is it bad? This is the first time I've heard of either of those games.
Yeah, not really. I mean, if you haven't been like getting news, because they've been in the news, kind of. Not like and they haven't like announced them like a lot or like promoted them a lot.
They've been saying freaking what 11/11/22 for a year and a half now for Starfield.
Well, it's for Starfield, but not for Redfall.
Yeah, Redfall was like coming into summer. No, it ain't.
Yeah,
Which summer?
Yeah,
summer.
that's the trick.
It was I think it's Redfall was that one co-op shooter that was about vampires and stuff.
I remember seeing it now.
Yeah, but now it's 2023. I'm surprised that they waited so long. Oh, they waited until before Xbox's big info dump this June.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's talk a little bit about those Doctor Strange spoilers. So this first topic goes hand in hand with one of John's Q&A. So I'm just going to read that here and we'll talk about it more in context of the movie and the spoilers. So John asks, could Marvel allow Doctor Strange to get the Book of Ashanti and go super cosmic OP with magic to fight Kang in something like Secret Wars or something? So,
I mean, Book's gone.
Book is gone, but never forget the Marvel Multiverse MacGuffin that can always appear because they can time travel. So, you could always go before it's destroyed and remove it out of its place, just like they did with the Infinity Stones, then put them back. So, they could play with it, which also brings me to talk about one of the things I want to talk about in the spoilers. I didn't notice up until Shay was like, hey, you did see that funny Evil Dead meme. I was like, yeah, Evil Dead 4. And I was like, oh my God, he literally used Marvel's version of the Necronomicon twice in that movie. Sam Raimi's literally a madman. He literally just made Evil Dead 4. What a genius.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
What a genius.
I haven't seen any of the Evil Deads, but I've heard that a lot, yeah.
No, it is legit because I've recently rewatched them because I love the Evil Deads and Army of the Dead. And there's legit moments like when he brings a corpse back to life in Army of the Dead, it's identical to the Doctor Strange stuff. It's honestly, it's as Raimi as I wanted that film to be, which is why I love it so much. So let's talk a little bit about some spoilers here. Where do we want to go first with this conversation? Because there's so much.
One just totally innocent.
We're starting this conversation off with Wanda Innocent.
I mean, you got cut off on Jared's one, so you can finish saying how you agree.
No. I was like, I'm just like, no, she is not innocent.
She's
And
corrupted by the Book of the Damned, Tristan. She's
no,
actually
neither is strange. But the difference here is that one's willing to learn from their mistakes, and the other one still wants to continue to do them.
Nah, it's not a conscious choice.
I could kind of argue that she did learn by the end of the film because obviously she sacrifices herself because she's like, bro, my plan is
quote.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like one thing you got to learn is if there's no body, they're still alive.
Yeah, exactly. Which I did appreciate at the end. She sees the suffering that she's putting the other Wanda through, and her kids being like, oh, wait, maybe kidnapping and killing the mom from another universe and taking her place is evil. Whoops. Like, okay. You know, it was a pretty good character arc she went through, honestly. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot of the dumbest hot takes on Wanda that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
this movie's really turned like the brain rot up to 11.
Not only
people.
that, I've seen some takes where people were now like, she's worse than Brie Larson in real life. I'm like, bro.
Oh, wow.
You guys have like freaking, you guys have chosen your new target. And, you know, a lot of people are pointing out there's a lot of hypocrisy here because like people that are like, yeah, we're all about Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader redemption. They're like, Wanda bad, no matter what. It's like,
Yep.
you guys clearly don't understand film or characters, or you like Vader.
I mean, it's the same
cool.
thing with Bucky, right? You know,
Yeah.
Bucky was literally brainwashed and killed countless people, and yet Wanda's controlled and corrupted by the first demon,
Yep.
and she's horrendously evil in it's all consciousness.
The funny thing about that is, yes, she continued to make bad choice after bad choice, but when, unfortunately, Professor Xavier during that scene says that he likes that everyone can still be redeemed on some level, no matter how bad they screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout this movie, we see that, you know, she did some horrible things, but at the end, she finally realized that, you know, what she was doing and how
it's also like her. Sorry, just didn't jump in there. Like her entire arc is kind of a metaphor for like self-help in the end.
And yeah, is that, you know, you can, you know, like it's like how in the beginning where Doctor Strange made the mistake of saying that just because a person says that they're better doesn't mean that they actually are.
Yeah.
And you see that throughout the whole movie where, you know, finally she realizes that even with her extra-dimensional children telling her that she became a monster when she was telling herself that she wasn't the whole entire time, she finally realized that she was doing the wrong thing and she tried to make it right on some level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was definitely that arc there. It's like self-realization and stuff that I really liked. I thought it was handled very well.
Yeah, it is. It's just like because you see the both characters, Wanda and Doctor Strange, in the beginning, where
are you happy, Steven?
Well, yeah, it's just that they couldn't have what they wanted, but they were going to try, and in some instances, other versions of Steven tried to do that, and it failed horribly. And this one chose the self-sacrifice reasoning that, you know, you can't have everything you want.
And I also did really appreciate that, like, seeing the different versions. It's like, what's one constant apparently among all of these? Well, the one constant is you all fail in this one thing that's called relationship. I'm like, you know, I like that because it bounces out, like, it really bounces off of what they were going for with his arc, but it balances out the Wanda dynamic to his. Like, I understand why some people aren't liking this film, but I think some people were literally going into this film going, need 80 cameos, I don't care about characters.
I was satisfied with the amount of cameos. I was afraid there'd be too many.
Yeah. Like,
and say 6 is more than enough. You didn't need like 1,000.
No, we needed 30.
Yeah.
To be fair, actually, no, I tell a lie. We needed 7. There was one noticeably missing from there.
Yeah.
My superior Tom Cruise will be missed forever.
No, I thought you were gonna say the Deadpool and the containment.
Screaming about
the fourth wall and how he got there.
I am not a meanie Twitter kid. No, I have culture.
But I mean, the big takeaway for me is in this is it was a character-driven film. Like,
Yeah.
despite everything else, you know, and
It,
it,
yeah, it's also I didn't like how people were kind of like confused and mad, or not confused and mad about it didn't take itself seriously. I mean, what do you expect? It was a Raimi film. He did what he
yeah,
wanted to do, and I even had this conversation where I was like, I don't know why people are getting like mad. It's like it's too comic booky. I'm like, well, it's a comic book. How more comic book can you get? Right
I
now,
say,
it's a comic book movie. You have Doctor Strange who manifested big hands,
yeah.
ripped a lamppost from the ground, used it as a skewer, and punctured an octopus monster, ripping an eyeball out. That's
so the
comic
people
books.
that are going like it's too comic booky are going to have a conversation with themselves because they're not going to stop this.
Yeah, and then
The whole philosophy now is like, no, you're right. It's like it's an issue of a comic.
yeah, it's like it's that part, the opening part, and the note battle, and I'm like, that have you read a comic book? They can be as serious as they can, or they
Whoa,
can
whoa,
be as
whoa,
goofy as they
whoa,
can.
whoa, Tristan, hold up. Read a comic book before complain. Whoa! What is this? Come on.
Tell you what, you can really tell at the minute who reads comics and who don't because it's kind of getting wild.
It's like it goes straight back to the Batman v Superman conversation. No, Superman would do this, and every single writer and artist literally does a different take on the Zod situation. Going, really? What? No, like we're kind of back at that again, coincidentally, and it's I don't know, like I honestly thought this film was just overall satisfactory. Like it did pretty much everything I hoped it would do that I built up in my mind, and I stopped doing the thing where I go into a film expecting all my masturbatory fantasies to come true. You know, so it doesn't.
I'm in a similar spot with Guardians 2 with this film. Not that I think this is like as bad as Guardians 2, but the character arcs really make this movie.
Yeah,
and I think they're quite subtle, like, especially Strange's arc in this movie. Right, it's a very subtle arc that he goes on in this, and you can kind of miss it because I did at first. But just the flip between the two of them and how they're on the same trajectory really, but one's a bit more further gone than the other, and
yeah.
Strange needs Wanda to see that and himself as well. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's kind of it for me as well. And I will say it hit me like watching this film. I'm like, this is only the second Doctor Strange film, but we've seen him in like 6 things. And then it kind of dawned on me, you know what? Why don't we just have a film where Doctor Strange is just doing the Doctor Strange stuff that happens? It's like we can settle into that. It's kind of like, you know, people always just want, hey, why don't we not have to tell the origin and everything? Finally just get to live with the characters a little bit and see their... And Doctor Strange opens up with that. We see his life. Sure, he did all this and helped save the universe. His life's still terrible. Like, cool. You know, it was nice.
And it was cool in the beginning to where, fortunately or unfortunately for that universe, that giant monsters coming to destroy things are beginning to become the norm. Where Doctor Strange just jumps out the window and people are already taking pictures or videotaping him.
Yeah. And then it's like, cool, let's just go get pizza afterwards. Like, this is just perfectly normal.
Yeah, it was.
But this movie has some like the best suit up sequences Marvel's ever done.
Yep.
Because every time he flicks the cape around him, it's always something different. Like at the wedding, it's the pocket square. At the end, it's the scarf, and it's like this. I like this Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I feel they nailed it. So honestly, we could probably sit here and talk about this for another like hour, and I guarantee we will over the course of the next couple months, really, as we start to hear more. Any finishing thoughts or spoilery things we can get out of the way here?
I did like the animated X-Men theme that played when Dr. Xavier came through, and I did like John as Mr. Fantastic, but I wanted to see more of him because to me it felt like he didn't have enough time to get into the role.
Yeah. Yep.
And say I am the opposite. No, I wouldn't mind if that they do a cancel of Reeds and Krasinski's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't want Krasinski to be our main one because when he was talking about the incursions and all that, I didn't buy him knowing what he was talking about.
Like,
it's like, yes, this was a day and a half of filming, but put some effort into it.
I was trying to explain this to someone who was also like, I'm not sure what it was about Reed, and I kind of pointed this out. Go back to the scene of, like, let's just do the Avengers. When you have Tony Stark and Bruce Banner talking about the science, even though they are playing up their personas and they're doing that Joss Whedon dialogue, you believe that they know what they're saying. Same with Age of Ultron. You believe in what they're saying because they convince you and they come off as a smart scientist. I didn't get that here with Reed. That's my only thing. Like, I was like, something just feels a little missing. And again, he was there for a day and a half, like you said. So, like, what could they possibly do? But, like, I just felt like there could have been a little more, you know.
I can't remember where I saw it or who said it, but I saw someone say it felt like he was trying to be Chris Evans 2.0 and play it like a Chris Evans. It's like, that is exactly what he done, because he did, like, he felt more like a Steve Rogers than he did a Reed Richards.
Yep.
I think it's because he with how Reed was trying to talk to Wanda, is that he was trying to reason with her instead of trying to sound smug, and that he had the right answer to this whole entire mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that was what it was, because in the comics, even though Reed wants to do good, he's a smug. He's smug. He's not the heroic person people perceive him to be.
Yeah.
If they don't know the real Reed.
And yeah, that's also, like, you know, you bring that up as well. And yeah, there's just a couple things in there that were a little weird. I do want to kind of just mention quickly that obviously we had the post and mid-credit scenes, right? Like, everybody's talking about, okay, what happens next with Clea? Obviously, that's straight up leading to Doctor Strange 3. Like, that's where we're picking up that plot thread. So I don't know what more you could say other than they finally got Charlize Theron in there. So yes.
The only thing that really surprised me, just for final thoughts, the only thing that really surprised me was that Doctor Strange from Earth 838 started the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who starts it in the comics? I can't remember.
I cannot remember. I have to look that up. But I was surprised that it was Doctor Strange and that the Illuminati was all from one universe. But it's what you do.
I've seen a lot of people say that, where it's like, oh, I think the impression everyone had at the start was it was a bit like What If, right? Where it's the multiversal team coming together, not all from the same reality.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling we haven't seen the proper, like, the multiversal Illuminati. They're going to save that for Secret Wars or something.
See, I don't think there is going to be one.
Really? Oh, that'd be interesting.
I think the whole point of the Illuminati here was just, is to go, look at what we've got coming down the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, here's Fantastic Four, here's mutants. Maybe we're going to do Humans again. You damn well better, Marvel. I need that redemption arc. You know, and all that. And it's like, hey, this is the team this is going to give Doctor Strange the idea. Because you can see the cogs turning in his head the second Mordo says the Illuminati. It's just like, this isn't actually a bad idea.
That's true, though. I could see that.
And also, if he's he's the only one right now from our reality. I would say minus Clea, but she's from the Dark Dimension. He's the only one that knows what an incursion is right now. So when one happens,
right,
he's going to know what's going on.
Exactly.
It's obviously going to be total luck that 616. That's what it is now. He's going to survive.
Just looking it up, it looks like it was after Civil War, and it looks like Iron Man first brought this idea up. Yeah, he brought it up to Mr. Fantastic, Namor, Black Bolt, and Xavier, and Panther, and Wakanda.
That makes
segueing on into our Q&A, because Daniel Barba actually has a good one here. So and this is in regards to kind of what we just talked about in Doctor Strange and everything, that's going on with the Inhumans. And he says, do you think War of Kings is a possibility with the Inhumans being recognized in the MCU if they introduce the Inhumans into the main MCU universe? Now, it's been a while since I've read War of Kings. It was like late 2000, maybe 2008.
What is it? War and Realm of Kings? They're all part of that like DNA, Annihilation, Conquest, Thanos Imperative run.
Yes.
I can't remember which one comes first. I think it was Realm of Kings that came first. I honestly can't remember. I can't distinguish them in my head.
Same.
It's been that long.
It's been that long, exactly.
Just like I know it's the humans in there in space, and there's like the Shi'ar and stuff.
Yep.
I can't. Not the Shi'ar. Was it the Kree? It was one. It was one. It's probably all of them. To be fair.
There was a lot of them.
Yeah, I really can't remember. I'd love to see it.
Same. I mean,
but, I won't get excited until the humans are actually in here properly.
And that's kind of the thing, I kind of want to talk about here with them. Like I said this on Jared's podcast and everything. They did not have to at all. Nobody could have been like, hey, we have to put Black Bolt of the Inhumans in there and show his powers and stuff. Feige chose to do that and say do it and bring back the same actor. I do legit believe, because Feige's talked about it before, in old interviews where he praised the Inhumans because he likes that concept. I do think that there's something here they're going to eventually try to do more with it, but it got screwed up so bad by Marvel TV and what Ike Perlmutter and everybody was doing that it just got tarnished and the concept was blown right out the gate. So it's like, what do you do? It's I do think they're going to.
I honestly think they wait until like Fantastic Four 2.
Yes. Yep.
And introduce them in that because they're so integral to those characters in the early days. Just go with it. Just do it.
And that's the thing. Like, you could even easily explain it with the whole multiversal thing. I mean, the Inhumans literally have Eldrak. Like, he's right there. Like, you want to talk about teleportation and the multiverse? That you got a talking door with a mouth that can teleport you anywhere. Like, it's an insane concept, but he exists. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a buffer, Eldrak, isn't it?
Well,
Isn't he only like a sling ring portal where he goes to your timeline or reality?
I remember them playing with multiple timelines as well, but I can't remember what issue. It was in the last decade when they were like pushing Inhumans everywhere. But I don't remember if there was a special buff to them or not. I'll have to reread it.
So in fairness, you can like turn it up to 11 and be like, oh yeah, it's a multiverse, not a multiversal door, like a dimensional door.
It puts them in Eldrak is buried under the rocks of the moon, but he puts them into a pocket dimension. There you go. That's how they're hidden.
Because the thing is, with Doctor Strange, they make an interesting plot point. Because they say, like the Illuminati say to Strange, the bigger the footprint you make and like impact you make in reality that's not yours, the greater the risk of the incursion. So you can't just bring over multiversal characters. It's not going to work like that.
Yep.
I missed that one. So if we have these humans from a different or mutants from a different multiverse, in fairness, it pushes the Secret War story forward.
Yeah,
but it's just going to destroy everything.
Yeah, that interests me because it's like, you can have like a couple people dimension hopping, but once you start getting hundreds and thousands of people, that's when the incursions start to increase in influx, and you start seeing entire universes. Either universes or universe explode in a blaze of glory. So,
and I mean, people are kind of forgetting and they're looking over it because people aren't thinking about it. But if you want to see what an incursion could actually look like, just look at Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, look at all those villains that were about to attack all the Spideys. And sure, that's because of the spell, but that's a version of an incursion. That's like just all starts to rain in.
Yeah, for if people haven't like read the comics, you saw that in No Way Home where it's just people. Imagine that happening where there's a tear, but it's a counter Earth coming to
it's the entire planet.
The only thing to stop it is to destroy the planet.
Or crush your fingers that you just safely pass through each other. Just like, no. I think that happened like once. Like the first incursion was just pure luck.
Well, let's talk about our next topic because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has wrapped filming. I never thought we would even be talking about this. It's been so long, but it's happened. Finally.
I mean, when was the last one? Was it 2016? The last one came out? Or...
It's been so long.
Yeah. Because the next time we see Guardians would be for the holiday special, and then 3.
My God!
I forget about the holiday special.
Yeah, everyone forgets about the holiday special. Like that one comes out first, then we get 3.
Right, because that's coming out first.
Volume 2 was 2017 apparently. So it's actually not been as long as I thought.
Yeah.
It's still been long. It's like Doctor Strange. Madness.
Yeah, especially when like they're gonna be in Thor as well. So
and they seem to be significant in Thor as well.
We're getting to that Doctor Strange place where they're not in their own film, but we've seen so much of them, you kind of forget that they exist here. Oh those.
Yeah, I think that's taking a bit of the sting off.
Yeah, it honestly has.
But I'll fully admit I had no interest in this film, which is I've always been sad about because I adore these characters, and just seeing those suits from the DNA run in those set pictures, it's like, no, I'm back on board. I just instantly, I was like, cool. The last 5 years never happened. Like, I'm right back here. I'm back to Guardians 1 level.
I guess I don't hate that as much as I've
had my Wonder arc. I've gone through the self-loathing and all that, and now I accept everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's all Wonder is a little bit of Chris Pratt in a DNA uniform.
I do want to bring this up because we obviously saw, and it is confirmed now thanks to set leaks, but we are getting 100%, this confirms, High Evolutionary and Counter Earth are both going to be in it. I am finally going to see a giraffe driving a Lamborghini, and I could not be happier because...
have you not watched, what was that movie?
Zootopia?
That's the one, yeah.
I got that one right. All right.
I completely blanked on that.
But this time there's humans in it as well. So
and
hopefully there's not gonna be any people complaining. So why are there animal people in my movie? This completely ruins my immersion. I don't want this.
Like, you've had Rocket for years. Why? Don't be racist. But no, I'm excited for this movie.
Yeah,
even though it seems that Batista is officially done, and it seems like James Gunn's done after this as well.
Yeah,
or at least with the Guardian side of things. I don't know if he's going to stay on for anything else or not. But
I mean, look, James Gunn from the beginning, he was talking about 3 films, this and that. He's doing a holiday special. He's helped with Avengers films, with input and stuff, and also they confirmed, there was a couple requests he made for Thor: Love and Thunder with the Guardians that they implemented. So, like, I think he is done with this core element of the Guardians, but I don't think obviously the Guardians aren't going anywhere. By the time this film ends, we're going to have a new Guardian team, so...
I was going to say, he says this is the end of this version of the team, but it's a case of you can't, at least franchise-wise, I don't think you can just straight up change entirely the full lineup. I think you can... I think you have to keep at least 3 of this team. Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot would be the 3. I'd be very shocked if they didn't stay on. But for all we know, Rocket might die in this movie.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah, same. I hope not.
Please. My emotions wouldn't be able to take that. But
yeah.
Then that begs the question of who do you get for the next lineup?
Well, we're gonna probably have, Adam Warlock, right? Nova? No, not yet. Not Nova yet. Adam Warlock, Nebula probably stays on the team.
Oh yeah, I forget Nebula.
Yeah, Mantis probably. Evolving team. Why not?
Because if he doesn't bring in Phyla-Vell and Moondragon, then I'm gonna feel a certain way.
He said he wants to bring Dupe in, so maybe Dupe from the old X-Men, the Slimer of the Marvel universe. Just bring him in.
The first 2 mutants we get in the MCU is Charles Xavier and Dupe.
And what a time to be alive.
Just like,
Yup. So there we go, guys. Just wanted to kind of point out Guardians 3 is done. There's a couple things we now know about. So when we have more to talk about, we definitely we got more Q&A here. This one comes from our buddy Marvin, Envious Cosplay. And he says, what do you guys think the plot for Loki Season 2 could be, especially with Kang being involved? So I've actually seen a lot of people ask us to talk about this over the last couple of weeks. This just perfectly lines up now with post Doctor Strange, so we could get into this. Quite obviously, looking at this whole scenario we got with Kang being in multiple projects, having his presence slowly start to be felt, and Easter eggs here or there. I mean, the Kang we're going to see in Loki seems to be lining up to premiere right around the time that Ant-Man is already going to be out of the way, so there's going to be some of that crossover. This is going to be one of those like Doctor Strange and WandaVision. I do hope that it's standard comic Kang, where it's Kang literally foiling his own plans because he's too stupid and too smart, so he put in countermeasures to himself. Like, I would like to see that insanity. Just being like, I thought I could outwit this version of me, but no, he was already ahead of me because the other version was ahead of me. It's like, yeah, that's Kang.
Me, I've been foiled by me again.
Exactly.
I think Kang should have a bodyguard squad, and you should have that be the Squadron Supreme.
Ooh, yeah. They should get back to that, yep.
Because weren't they supposed to be in the original one?
That was the, that's what we were hearing about.
Yeah, or there's been something about them recently. It's like, no, do the Squadron properly. Yeah. But apart from that, the way Loki Season 1 ended, I kind of get the impression Season 2 is not going to be much different.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of have a style. I do hope that they change it around a little bit because, like, we know who the villain is now, so it's not like wait till the end of Who Done It. So maybe this can kind of change the structure and everything, which that's kind of my hope, but I guess we'll...
Because I suppose it could be quite similar to Volume 3 for Guardians, where they're trying to find Gamora.
Yeah, honestly.
And so he's now trying to find Sylvie. Like...
Yeah? Huh. I could see that parallel playing out too, which honestly would make sense. And like, what's she done and what is she doing? So I'm also expecting they're probably going to put a little more cameos into Season 2. That's kind of my expectation, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
because now they know it's a success.
When's this filming? When's Season 2 start?
Couple weeks. So.
Oh wow, is that soon?
Yeah.
I suppose it's out next year, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be quick. Yeah.
So, I guess we'll find out soon, but definitely more Kang involved. Probably multiple Kangs. That's kind of how we're looking at this. You know what was damn close though, and now it's getting further away. That Moon Knight Season 1 wrapped. We learned about some scrapped ideas, cameo ideas, other potential things in the series that didn't make it in. Mitch, what do we want to talk about first? Pick any of the things.
Which one? Well, they said that Black Knight was going to play a part in this show.
Yeah.
Which I find this whole thing wild because, you know, this is the most isolated show we've had.
Yeah.
Or the most isolated thing we've had since, like, Phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it's finished, they're all like, oh, yeah, we had this idea, we had that idea, we had to scrap this, that fan theory about Gore doing something. Yeah, we had a line about that at the end, but we had to take that out because we didn't know when we were going to release. And it's like, how connected was this thing supposed to be?
It seems like
and now,
it was honestly...
apparently he's going to be in Cap 4. Moon Knight. Like, okay, he's now just apparently everywhere, and everyone was going to be with him. Like, so okay,
yeah.
I kind of want to see this timeline where these things happen, but
yeah, it's really interesting to kind of hear about all this. And you're just like, what were you planning? Right? It's like, what exactly?
Yeah, because if Black Knight was going to be in this, then surely Blade would have had to have been in it as well.
Exactly. Which makes me think, hey, that Midnight Suns Werewolf by Night like project now, like
So Werewolf by Night's got to have something.
100%.
If Moon Knight's not in that, I'm gonna be stunned because like it's Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night. Like, come on.
Yeah, literally go hand in hand. So, I mean, it's interesting to kind of hear about this, and like you said, they had these ideas for Black Knight, which probably means Moon Knight, and him teaming up in some sort of fashion at the end, I would assume, or maybe having a friendly relationship already that we didn't know about. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you've been friends with this guy, huh? Like that
I
kind of would have
suppose
made sense.
museums, like
Yep.
they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think Blade probably would have been a little bit harder because if he showed up like Black Knight, we still don't know much about him, so you can introduce him. But the moment Blade would have showed up, people would have been like, "Wait a second!" Like it adds a little extra baggage that I think,
Yeah,
don't
it's
toss
true.
it.
Yeah, I'm also looking at this, and like, yeah, they're basically saying that they didn't really know how to connect it, and they're having trouble with cameos. On one end, they wanted to have references to Thor: Love and Thunder, with gods dying and Gore the God Butcher
Mm-hmm.
being involved in this, but they didn't think that they could do it because of all the shuffling, and whether or not they would be before or after Thor was a problem in itself. So,
Which is weird because the amount of reshuffles we've had with all these stuff, this stuff, and you could still have referenced it.
Yeah, it was
just say
just
like because Moon Knight came out afterwards doesn't mean it takes place afterwards.
That's from the interviews. That's one of the things that I guess they're really hung up on, is whether or not they were gonna come before or after Thor, since they were kind of side by side in development.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I would love it. I would have loved it, but they did sneak some stuff in. But if like they wanted a more concrete connection to the greater MCU by using Thor and Gore, and telling people why there's technically not that many gods around left because of Gore, it would have been a good way to connect it.
I just like the idea of like, hey, why aren't there any more gods? And they're just like peeking out, being like, have you heard of the God Butcher?
He's real mad.
He's coming, but maybe not here though. Go check out Thor in theaters now. It's like, oh, okay, sure. I mean, yeah.
Like, you could have literally just had this small little line in that council meeting they had, or the trial they had for Harrow and Mark. What was episode 3?
Yeah.
I think it was, and be like, oh, what? Like, why are you hiding behind your avatars? It's like, have you heard of Gore?
Yeah.
We are crapping ourselves right now.
Yeah, it's like if you don't, some bad things could happen. In form of butchering of sorts. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's I don't know. There seems like you said, there seems to be a lot because they revealed that the series initially opened up with a cameo and ended with a cameo as well. It's like what? Like
read more. And there's supposed to be, I guess, a bigger emphasis on Kang in Moon Knight, but
there's going to be like a direct reference to
It was
not.
It's still in there, but it's so minute that most people might miss it.
Yeah,
because now just spray painted the back of one of the kids' jackets in episode 3.
Yeah,
it's just a King Tut.
Yeah, they're.
But you also had the Eternal stuff where, like 3 or 4 of them were going to be there when Amit was imprisoned, and that never happened for whatever logistical reason, which would have been really cool.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird scenario. I guess, I want to say we're going to find out more, but chances are we won't because Marvel Studios keeps everything very secretive now, so it's like, I guess.
Well, it's secretive until it's time to advertise their stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk more about Moon Knight in the future because there's no way they're not coming back with more Moon Knights. So,
yeah.
If he's in Captain America 4, then he's definitely coming back.
Oh, there. Hey, speaking of lineups, though, that's a good segue, Mitch, to our next Q&A. This one comes from William Hannafan, and he's saying, due to the empty chair in Doctor Strange 2, could that possibly be occupied by Hank Pym, who possibly created the Ultron Sentry after defeating Ultron in the 838 universe? Now, I believe that was the one. He says he thinks that's the correct universe they mentioned as well.
Yes,
838.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be anybody, right? That created that Ultron's there, like.
yeah. Yeah, it could be. It could be. I mean, in that universe, Hank Pym could have not went evil and found a way to not make Ultron evil as well.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like
But what's the empty chair? Because I don't remember seeing the empty chair.
so there's definitely, I believe that there was an empty chair at the end, right? Or am I? Because people
That was just Mordo's, wasn't it? Because he was standing up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Because other people were talking about it as well. They're like, "Who's the empty chair for?" I was like, in my mind, I thought that was Mordo, but some people believe maybe it wasn't and was just a missing member that wasn't there at the time, and Mordo's just like the sorcerer.
Yeah, I assumed it was Mordo because he became the Sorcerer Supreme, and
right. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking.
Because how many chairs were there?
I mean, there was enough for the proper Illuminati members, right? So
yeah, so then one's not. One's got no one sitting in it, but there's Mordo standing up, walking around it.
Right. So. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm, I guess, seeing as well. And honestly,
but hypothetically, if there is a missing chair, then it'll be Tom Cruise's Superior Iron Man. I would never
brought
let
up
that
this.
go. He
I brought up
absolutely
the scene,
made
and
those
it looks
Ultron
like
robots.
there's 6 to 7 chairs.
So you got Reed, Captain Marvel, Black Bolt, Captain Carter, Mordo, Charles.
Charles has his own seat, so
yeah. Okay, well, I suppose. I mean, they could take it any other way. They could literally be like, also, you don't have to have a chair to be in the Illuminati. You could just not care, but still be a part. So
that one's for visitors.
Exactly. So could handle it that way as well. But yeah. So I guess we'll see what they're gonna end up doing. I mean, if they ever get back to this universe, which probably a chance.
I mean, they're all dead now.
Yeah. Let's see some of the other people that end up in that universe and who might have taken over and what happens next. Which realistically, Doctor Strange 3, they could come back to that place. So
it's true. I mean, that could be the incursion that Clea is talking about.
True. That's true.
Like incursion just could be really slow in that universe, and we find out.
Exactly. Yep. So we'll talk more about that, I guess, when we find out more details and we talk about Doctor Strange 3 in 7.5 years from now. Woohoo!
I hope not.
Same.
Let's not do that again, please.
Well, there. Our last topic, and what I told you guys was going to be a good, longer show. Here we go. Some Fantastic Four news, rumors, speculation, and all sorts. The latest is Bryce Dallas Howard, possibly attached to direct and star in this film. Huh. I mean,
I'm down for her directing it. I don't know if I want her to be in it.
So, she's literally, I think, my favorite actress in Hollywood. Absolutely love everything she's been in, and I love her as, like, just a director as well from what she's done. So, and obviously, before somebody mentions it, yes, the Solo, A Star Wars Story bias aside with her dad, because I like all her dad's films as well, because he makes some unique stuff. I would be really excited to see her, if they are in fact going to stick with John as Mr. Fantastic. If we need an actress that can convince me that she is a great mom in that universe, that can hold her own, Bryce Dallas Howard could do it. I have no doubts about that. But to me, I think her strength would be better as a director, personally. I do think she could do better there. Like, I don't need her to be
as long as she doesn't make it in NFT, then I'm fine.
It's
because she's on that wagon.
Oh, of course. Who isn't these days anymore? God damn.
That's true.
So, I mean, I think she's a good choice. Tristan, what's your feelings on this? What do you think? If you have any ideas?
No, not really. I'm trying to think of anything, but not right now.
Yeah. It's
yeah, because I'm not too versed in Fantastic Four lore to see like where the whole movie could potentially go. I know vague descriptions and what I've watched with was it did they have I know they had like an early 2000s cartoon, but I vaguely remember they had like a early to mid 90s Fantastic Four
they had
character
one.
too.
Yeah, they had a couple in that time frame.
Yeah, because like the only thing I remember about that is where for some reason Ghost Rider was extremely OP and he destroyed Galactus with the Penance.
That was a thing that happened. Yep.
And he didn't
Also
like
had the Inhumans in that show. I can still see Black Bolt doing his little like.
It's like he didn't explain it. He just rode in, destroyed Galactus, and rode out. But yeah, I'm not so sure on like what they could go through because I don't think they would want to go through another like origin story. I don't think people would be interested in that much because it's like the third time.
I've been thinking about that recently. I don't know. I think you have to with these guys.
Yeah, I'm not.
Especially with this version, I think you have to actually make the origin again, like make it slightly different. Probably attach it to the multiverse somehow, but I think you're actually going to have to.
I mean, didn't Doctor Strange make a joke about that in the movie?
He makes it. In the '60s there was a band called the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't really hear the one part of it, a part of the joke, but I heard the '60s part. I'm like, did you make a joke about
he's like, didn't you guys chart in the '60s or something like that?
And people are like looking at the whole situation, being like, are they hinting? Are they doing this? Look, it's Marvel Studios. They're having fun with it, which I like. It's kind of like keeping you on your toes. And
I thought he said, didn't you guys disappear in the '60s when I saw it?
Yeah,
and then people going like, no, it's just chart. It's like, okay, no, it's
yeah. So,
but yeah, like I don't know. Like, and I'm trying to think of how like they could do it and not do it, but it's really like no, like to me anyway, no real good option to put them in without doing some kind of origin story. Because just like how Spider-Man, people didn't want to like sit there for one movie to relive Uncle Ben getting shot again, and and learning with the great power must come great responsibility. And so yeah,
now we're getting an animated series for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I mean, look, my takeaway from the Fantastic Four, any news we get is just, please just do it right and give us the family dynamic, and that's all we really want. And I think you can do the rest really well. I would really kind of hate if they did take the older route. It's like, oh, Reed confirms he already has children. If they were to suddenly just drop that concept into the MCU, you undo a lot of the Fantastic Four development to get to that point where they have the children and already like. We need.
I can in that instance I can see because they wanted a Reed who's a lot older and potentially studied incursions.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, since for all intents and purposes that this MCU that we've been following for over 20 years is, I guess, this version of the 616, and technically that type of Reed hasn't come or came yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we would probably just see the beginnings of the dynamic of the Fantastic Four with Reed, the Soup, and John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean.
So yeah, no Franklin or people.
In fact, no Franklin's a good thing because that's a can of worm you do not want to open.
No, people wanted to open it if you saw the back and forth.
Oh, I've seen the internet freak out about Franklin Richards. Like, yeah, let's not have that guy. I love Franklin to death, but slightly too much, especially right now.
Yeah, especially right now. That's the thing. It's like right now there's no. But if you do it right, take your time. I believe they could do it, and I'm interested to know just how, like, where do you place this in the MCU?
I mean, they could if they wanted to for titled Spider-Man 4s have a couple of them cameo in that.
I think you have Spider-Man cameo in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You set up that Johnny Peter dynamic and do it that way.
Yep. Yeah. It would make sense. It works for them, It's
Because I see you guys have a job opening. Yeah, we get paid by grants. I don't specifically pay the group, so
No money
I mean,
for you, kid. Oh. Oh,
But at least where we're at now, we can still have it so the Baxter building is the old Avengers Tower.
that's true. They still haven't revealed it. Oh my
That's
god.
got. There's no way that it's anyone else but that, right?
Yeah,
They
no.
can't.
well, like yeah, at least that since what is it? No, Osborn doesn't exist in the 616. Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
But, it could be Hammer Industries for shits and gigs.
it's just a giant H that keeps falling off every day because he can't mount it right. Oh.
Giant neon hammer sign that's banging the nail in to keep the H up.
Oh, hammer one day at a time.
Oh,
Yep.
it still doesn't work.
Yeah, to me, I thought like of all things, like Alchemex would replace Osborn Industries.
Sony
Hey,
ain't that
still
smart.
good. Still time.
Sony ain't
Oh,
smart.
Alchemex is in Morbius, isn't it?
Oh!
I'm not sure. I didn't go see that.
No, I've seen the movie. I haven't.
Mitch, that's a trick
I'm
question
dumb.
because guess what? They removed Spider-Man from the movie's dialogue as
True.
well.
It's true.
Is that a trick one?
They couldn't handle Morbin time.
Oh, God.
What a
Let's
fever dream that movie was.
I was gonna say, let's
I haven't even
always-
seen it.
as a collective human species, let's all agree to not talk about Morbius again. The sweep was too much for us.
No, this is your penance for hyping it up for like a year and a half.
The next up, it's El Muerto. That's the hype now.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
It's gonna be the sweep, man. The sweep. Oh. So
What
yeah,
a time.
Fantastic Four, everybody. We'll talk more about it soon when they get a director, probably in the next couple of weeks, because they're supposed to start shooting this summer. So
I'd say I will be very surprised if we don't hear who's directing it this year.
probably after this podcast goes up. That's typically how it
I
happens.
mean, more than that, yeah. If it is Bryce Dallas Howard, fantastic, cool.
Cool.
I'm down for that. If it's literally anyone else, like an indie director, cool, I'm down for that.
I mean, if she directs it, I think that would be fantastic, and I'm all for it.
Oh,
Ha ha ha!
I haven't seen the movie yet, but get the people that did Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I'm down with that. Yes, that'd be good.
I still have
Such a good movie.
a day before that movie's out in this country.
Oh.
Unfortunately, so.
Wow. That's it, everybody. That is the end of our show. I told you it was going to be a little bit of a longer one. Turns out I was right there, so that's good. We got a bunch of Q&As and all that. Of course, we are going to have additional topics out for members. We're going to talk about a couple things there, such as more stuff related to incursions, and Secret Wars was one that people want us to talk about more. So hopefully we see you guys there. Thank you for joining us for another week of this here podcast. And like every time previously, we'll see you guys next week. And stay tuned, everybody, for the audio commentary tier. Commentaries are coming.